Get ready, after years of heated opinions and spirited debate on The View, a bold new voice has emerged with a fresh perspective. And for once, it seems Whoopi Goldberg is receiving a response she didn't quite anticipate.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
And Karoline Leavitt.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate.
This wasn't just another debate, it was a powerful moment of clarity. Karoline Leavitt didn't simply disagree with Whoopi Goldberg, she delivered a firm, well-articulated challenge, calling out inconsistencies and addressing the conversation with striking confidence. The result? A rare moment of silence around the table, something almost unheard of on The View. Now, the response is unfolding rapidly. Reports suggest ABC executives are closely monitoring the situation, with growing speculation about potential changes on the horizon. And as for Whoopi, the spotlight feels different this time. So, what exactly did Karoline say that triggered such a strong reaction? You won't want to miss the details. But first, if you value honest dialogue and real political discussion, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for updates.
And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Karoline addressed what she described as one of the most polarizing presidential speeches of her lifetime, voicing deep concern that President Biden's remarks could come across as profoundly alienating to millions of Americans. The tension was palpable from the moment she stepped onto the set.
Because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border.
What began as a conversation quickly turned into a tense exchange. Wearing her signature thoughtful expression, Whoopi reacted visibly, interrupting before Karoline could even finish her opening statement on air.
Trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood.
It's trickling into every major institution across the country, from public schools and universities to Hollywood and big media.
Corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another.
Joy Behar responded swiftly, delivering one of her trademark sharp remarks.
She's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
This wasn't your typical discussion. It felt more like a coordinated challenge. The hosts of The View appeared ready to confront Karoline with strong opinions, perhaps expecting to steer the conversation or overpower her stance. But what happened next took everyone by surprise.
Lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign, going on TV literally every day.
Karoline responded with composure and conviction, posing a pointed question: should a woman's appearance diminish her intelligence or achievements? She backed her challenge with facts, highlighting her own track record as a St. Anselm College graduate, a former war reporter in New Hampshire, a congressional candidate at 25, and the youngest ever White House press secretary by age 27. She led press briefings with clarity and confidence, no bulky binder, no hesitation, just direct, informed responses. In contrast, Whoopi's recent role on The View has primarily centered on offering commentary and reactions. This stark difference in substance and style has led some to question whether the criticism aimed at Karoline stems from deeper bias rather than genuine debate.
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
Karoline remained composed and resolute, even while navigating the challenges of pregnancy and new motherhood, facing a panel more focused on undermining her than fostering a real discussion. She didn't just hold her ground, she commanded the moment with calm assurance. The women of The View threw every angle at her, but Karoline responded with unshakable clarity, never flinching or losing her composure. She pointed out what many viewers have long observed: The View has become disconnected from the broader realities outside their studio. Karoline argued that ABC needed to recognize the show wasn't presenting diverse viewpoints, but rather amplifying a singular perspective in varying forms. Dissent, she argued, wasn't encouraged, it was silenced. Throughout the conversation, Karoline stuck to the facts, citing dates, quotes, and numbers in a clear, steady manner. Even when Joy attempted to interrupt, Karoline remained unfazed, reasserting her position with poise and continuing to guide the conversation forward. As the exchange unfolded, it wasn't Karoline who seemed overwhelmed, it was Joy who struggled to find her footing, grasping for responses that didn't land. Karoline didn't just survive the back and forth, she exposed how ineffective the typical tactics of the show could seem when faced with someone truly prepared and unruffled.
You think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more of the same of it's all everybody?
Then came the moment that changed everything, a statement so powerful it didn't just land, it resonated deeply. Locking eyes with the panel, Karoline boldly declared, "You sit up here preaching about women's empowerment, but the second a conservative woman finds success, you chalk it up to her looks. That's your version of empowerment." The room fell silent. No laughter. No witty responses. No quick retorts. Just a palpable pause. Even Joy Behar, usually quick to interrupt, sat back in stunned silence, her usual remarks absent. But Karoline didn't stop there. She leaned in, sharpening her critique. She challenged what she saw as the true nature of wokeness, not a movement for equality, but a tool to silence opposing voices. Turning directly to Whoopi, she stated that no one embodied that silencing tactic more than her, day after day on national television. The way Karoline spoke wasn't with bitterness, but with calm, almost clinical precision. It wasn't an insult, it was a direct critique, an indictment. The effect was immediate. The audience shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Audible gasps filled the room. The smug atmosphere quickly evaporated, replaced by stunned disbelief. Beyond the studio, the moment exploded across social media. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok buzzed with reactions, sparking debate and splitting opinions. One thing was clear, Karoline had just flipped the script, and the narrative had completely shifted. Now, Karoline was in control, and the spotlight was on her. Inside ABC, reports suggested the network went into full crisis mode, scrambling to manage the fallout. It was no longer their story to tell.